Hey peeps, this is Sarah from Sparrow Springs, and here are 5 things that I learned about getting back into art as a new parent. My son Arrow is now 4 months old, and there's just a few different things that I've kind of learned along the way on kind of reclaiming that time, because I mean, art is something that we can do for fun, or for some of us it's actually our career, so it's helpful to set things in place to actually get back into that and not wait until they're like 10. Number 1, keep things simple to begin with. Don't try to do like elaborate oil paintings and stuff like that. Try to do something that is easy to start and stop, or like just do your preliminary sketching and pre-planning when no one else is around. Like obviously if you have someone to watch them, like your spouse or whatever, you know, have at it, but like if you're by yourself and it's just you and baby, take that time and just keep it short and keep it simple. Number 2, learn to multitask. You can absolutely draw and hold a baby at the same time. Now, it may take some practice, but it is possible. And for you nursing moms out there, yes, you can nurse a baby with one hand and draw with the other. Now, take advantage of whichever side you're nursing on, because, you know, obviously dominant hand. If you're ambidextrous, even better. Number 3, get a baby carrier. I love my baby Catan wrap because I can put my son in there and then he falls asleep half the time anyways, and then I've got both hands free to do whatever. Now I find that it's easier to work standing up when I have him in a baby carrier, and then if you nursing moms are super skilled, you can actually nurse them in the baby carrier, so you've got almost everything taken care of except for changing diapers. You have to take them out for that. Now my son was actually 3 weeks old when he first learned to nurse in a carrier. I had other motives because we had to go to Israel when he was 9 weeks old, so we learned that one quickly. Number 4, teach them to be flexible. If you can just work with them to sleep anywhere, set up a sleeping area wherever you do your art. If you have a studio or if you do it in your kitchen, like set up a place where it's easy for them to fall asleep. But I mean, something else is like teach them to fall asleep in different conditions too. They don't necessarily need to have a quiet room. A lot of babies actually would rather fall asleep to the sound of a vacuum cleaner rather than pure silence. So take advantage of that. My son is sleeping on my couch as we speak. Something else to note about this is you absolutely can set them down. I realized this because I wanted to hold him all the time. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't want him to cry. But then I discovered one day when my husband was gone for a weekend that it's like, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to cry for a couple minutes while I take the dog outside. I come back in and he's perfectly happy to play with whatever I gave him when I left. So not to say that you want to leave them for hours on end, but you can set them down and they will be okay for a little bit. Number 5, you need to be flexible. Enjoy the stage that they're at. They're learning things every single day. Things are changing. Like we had just gotten like the sleep regression under control, and then boom, he starts rolling over and we're back to square one, but that's okay. So you can draw inspiration from them as they're learning these things. Now, you may not get 3 hours to work on one piece all in one stretch, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So learning how to draw and learning how to create your art in the midst of distraction is a super valuable skill to have because it makes you more productive when you do have the time to actually work on it. So it is actually okay to lay your life down for a moment to pick them up. Check out the link in the description of this video to get on my email list. You can find out when I post new videos, when I post new Bible verse art, and any sort of sales or giveaways I have. It's kind of the place you want to be if you find out what I'm doing. So check that out. Jesus loves you, peeps.